Yo, what's up guys? Hope you're doing well. So a couple weeks ago I experienced new bike day. Pretty freaking stoked. I picked up a 2024 brand new Ventum NS1. Who is Ventum? What are they all about? So Ventum is a direct to consumer bike brand out of Heber City, Utah. They actually just opened up a retail program, so you can maybe find them in a bike shop near you. But Ventum's wow, struggle. Ventum's heritage is in the race realm. They started out by making triathlon bikes, and then they rolled into road. I'm all over the place. And then they got into gravel with the GS1. I picked up an NS1, and I've ridden just under 450 miles, 437 to be exact, in the last, I don't know, 3 weeks or so. And I'm going to go over some, like a quick and dirty first thoughts, and then down the road I will upload another video with long-term review. I went with the most budget build that you can possibly get from Ventum. Starts at $41.99, so not necessarily cheap per se, but as far as other direct-to-consumer bike brands, it's like within around $200 or so of like Fazari and Canyon and some of those other direct-to-consumer bike brands. It is Shimano 105 Di2, aluminum wheels, a Physique Argo seat. So
when are you gonna get out on the old Brandella, Chase?
when I stop riding a road bike.
Look at that bike! Woo!
This is like, oh look, it kind of matches. Why did I go Shimano over SRAM? I've always kind of leaned towards Shimano on anything road, and then kind of leaned towards SRAM on anything mountain bike or gravel. However, I did really want to try SRAM's road stuff. But after going back and forth with the Ventum team, we settled on the 105 because of the gear ratio. With my Everesting challenge I have coming up, the gear ratio is a little bit better on this bike than as far as for climbing than on the SRAM. I've got a 50-34 up front and a 10-34 in the back. So I've got that 1-to-1 gear ratio for climbing, which will be great for a long day of climbing. How has it been so far? My old bike was a Fazari, 2016 Fazari, older bike. It was Ultegra though, which was great. So technically this is a step down as far as group sets go. I went from Ultegra down to 105, but the technology has come so far since 2016 that this group set is incredible. It's got the trickle down technology from Durace, then Ultegra, now down to 105. The shifting is super crisp. Like I said, I've only done around 450 miles, but shifting is still super crisp. So as far as battery life, I don't completely know. I did run out of battery. I picked it up from Ventum, rode it for like 2 weeks, and just kind of out of sight, out of mind. Didn't really think about it much. And I was out on a ride, and it died. My Di2 did. So I was stuck in the middle gear, had to drag my butt home. Wasn't a huge deal. But one thing I would say is just get in a routine of like charge it every week or every 2 weeks, depending on how much you ride. So you don't have to worry about that. I don't think it's a huge inconvenience. I think the quality of crisp shifting you get with Di2 is worth the hassle of having to charge it. That's my personal opinion. But as far as this group set goes, it's been great. I feel like I'm riding quite a bit now. I'm doing at least 120 to 130 miles a week. And this group set's been great. As far as brakes go, plenty of stopping power. Definitely a step up from the Ultegra rim brakes I was on. I have zero complaints there. Jumping to seat, it's got the Physique Argo seat, which I 100% expected to replace when I got it, but it's actually been a very comfortable seat. A step up from what I was on, so I haven't felt the need to replace the seat, so I don't think I'm going to. the Vision Team 30 wheels. They are a decent pair of aluminum wheels. Better than the old Mavics that I was on. But this is probably going to be the first thing I do replace. I do want to upgrade to some carbon wheels. But how does the bike ride? Like overall, what are my thoughts and impressions? Hey guys,
Few cycling tips.
welcome to my vlog. If you want to know how to cycle to the top level, it's these high performance water bottles from Maverick. That's all, goodbye. It's comfortable. If you haven't updated your bike in a little while, the newer, wider rims and being able to ride a lower PSI is a game changer. I'm excited to see how much it even changes more with carbon wheels. But this bike is comfortable. Like I mentioned, Ventum Racing is kind of the brand name, ventumracing.com. They are really all about racing, but don't let it fool you. This bike is still very comfortable. It climbs really well. It descends incredibly well. It's very, very planted. When I'm descending, I feel way more confident on this than my old bike. It corners really well. I have been breaking all of my KOMs for the descents, not really even trying, but the geometry of the bike just lends to being a quick and fast bike. It's fast off the line. So at the end of the day, who is this bike for? To be completely honest, I think $4,200 is a lot of money. I don't know if that's necessarily average Joe budget wise. There are definitely less expensive bikes on the market. Ventum is a little more of a boutique direct to consumer brand. So would I recommend this bike for the average Joe? Yes, absolutely. It's an incredible bike. It is way more than what the average Joe really needs. If you're someone who is getting out on the weekends a couple times a year, maybe just right on the weekends, and you're not looking to really push yourself, I think there's probably better money spent in maybe a more relaxed geometry or an aluminum frame with a carbon fork. If you are looking to go full carbon and you're looking to up your game, I think the value you get here is pretty great. $4,200, like I mentioned, and you don't really need to do anything to the bike. You don't need to upgrade the rims. You don't need to upgrade the cockpit, but it is a very upgradable bike. So you can buy this and get in and then start to replace things if you want to get more into cycling. So yeah, that's the Ventum NS1. Not necessarily the quickest breakdown, but I have thoroughly enjoyed this bike over the last 3 weeks or so. I'm stoked to put more miles into it. It's definitely been a very comfortable and fast bike. It's got my stamp of approval, and yeah, drop any questions you have in the comments. I'd be happy to answer them. If you like what you see, if you enjoyed this, if you want to see more cycling content coming up down the road, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button and follow along.